Hello folks, this is GWT, Wes Truther channel, Wonder Man channel on YouTube, Wes Truther on Bradian.com. I ended my second part of this video, and I've been doing my personal character type. I don't read anything between the lines because there's nothing there. But the character, my character, I've been doing my personal videos since about 2008, or about 12 years. I have researched, and I have researched the research of others. And today, this is for you people who try to tell your family members, that try to tell strangers, or try to tell people you care about, and they blow you off. They blow what you're saying off. Today's time, when I address others, when the few occasions when I speak face to face with somebody, when I address others about what I know, the knowledge that I have accumulated, I feel like I am talking to little children. I'll try to clarify that a little bit for you. The difference I encounter is that little children don't seem to argue with you, and they're not acting like they're too smart to listen, and they're not saying things back to you like a man of 40 years told me right to my face, that when I spoke of chemtrails, chem element trails up in the sky, and the ingredient, the contents, and 5G, and HARP, and direct energy weapons, and forced inoculations of toxins and stuff, and the pharaonic rulers through the Swiss octagon, the aristocrats. This man looked at me and said that he didn't believe anything I had said. Nothing. I mean, he was polite, and he's an okay guy. He didn't upset me or anything. But it's shocking when a 40-some-year-old guy, where none of those titles of words key anything in his mind. It's like they're all cartoons that he's grown up and outgrown. No longer has any interest. He gets no entertainment from them. That is so strange to me. He didn't believe anything I've said. That's a sign that children are more receptive to things never heard of. And children don't often say, I don't want to know. How many times people tell you that? I don't want to know. All the time. I can't even count. Couldn't even be able to guesstimate at how many times someone has said, I don't want to know. I'm going to wait until the doctor gives me the news or informs me of such things. And if I ask, what if you heard it on the TV news? They would say, yes, that would make a difference. These people, I spoke with one guy, 40-some years old, who was a psych major in school. And he's the one who looked me in the face and said, I don't believe anything that you've said about that stuff. Nothing. And he thought me to be foolish and to think the earth is flat. He just thinks I'm crazy to think the earth is flat. And I knew he didn't have any knowledge of the psychiatric industry, which has killed as many as war, billions in revenue each year, and on top of that, now this is a psych major who don't believe anything that I have to say about anything that's going on. It's all conspiracy theory. That's what he says. It's all theory. It's all conspiracy. Government ain't doing nothing wrong. Cops don't ever do nothing wrong. Doctors ain't doing anything wrong. They're not killing, making anybody sick. But no, I don't want to see no videos. I just know my government and my doctors ain't doing no wrong, so I don't want to see anything about them bad. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to hear it. There's nothing I can do about it. hundreds of years have never, in the psychiatric industry, the studies, all of the deaths, the animals, the people, hundreds of years have never found even one cure for mental illness. Not one cure. And this is a psych major telling me that I don't know anything about 5G or chemtrails or heart weather control modification. That's all crazy. It's lunacy. That's TV, Star Wars stuff. Doesn't exist. That's just stuff, this is the thing people tell me. And not one cure in hundreds of years. Only pharmaceuticals that stimulate you from honest thought and cause addictions and cost. We can't forget, it's all about the money. Here's another topic. Is George Soros and Monsanto behind all of the farmers in Africa that are being murdered? Being brutally murdered, folks. Tortured, raped, dissected by the attackers. The gag orders are government enforced, and the government claims these crimes are based on theft, but the crops aren't being stolen. Little children are being cut through the mouth back to their ears. Cut straight through the mouth back to their ears. Folks, the government says it's just about thefts. They're not doing anything about it. The white Africans, don't you think the black pharaoh of Egypt, the one that I have posted pictures of, don't you think it's possible that the black pharaoh is wanting to get rid of all these white people in Africa? Something's behind it. They're being sacrificed, or it's an ethnic cleansing, which is a sacrifice anyway. Now I'm going to tell you something, the reason that I mentioned Soros and Monsanto. The Texas fertilizer plant, some of you may recall, I don't think you're going to find much information on it though, because the pictures that I had on my computer, they have watered them pictures down and screwed them pictures up so bad you can barely see the images anymore. They have a way of deteriorating the sharpness. I don't know how they do it. It's like they go in there and they resize it, but yet if they're resizing it so big or so small that it distorts it, when I click on properties, it doesn't indicate to me that it has been changed. So if it's being changed, my computer won't acknowledge it to me, which I believe is something that's within their control. But Monsanto had a lawsuit against him by the Texas fertilizer plant, and the Texas fertilizer plant was a meeting place and possibly storage place for some good old boys and girls, if you know what I mean, some prepper type people. And the solar warden blasted it with a plasma blast, and no more fertilizer plant, no more workers, and no more owners, and no more lawsuit. That's a lot of coincidences all at one time, and that's why I mentioned Soros and Monsanto behind these white killings in Africa of the farmers, because they are into monopolizing the food. They want to make food an industry, one world owned industry. And mercenaries are hired to profit the food industry. Mercenaries are hired to go in and kill people. Folks, small kids being cut like the Joker in the Saw movies, ear to ear through their mouths and stuff. Look, if these were other villages or other Africans around, what are they going to murder a bunch of people who's growing food for? Farmers stay at home. They're not usually elite people unless they're government affiliated. They stay at home. They're normal people. These people are being systematically killed. It's an organized thing that's going on, folks. Now, the people that live in Africa, some of them may be in on it, but they're hired as mercenaries. It can't be just a racial thing. Don't you think enough time has gone past for people not to be racist anymore? For most people, I think it's past. If you can get me, hey Africa, if you can get me to your farm and equip me with what I want, I'll give you the rest of my life as a service to protect you, your family, and your farm. Scout's honor. Now, just show up in my door and prove to me that you're going to take me to Africa to live on a farm and as a servant, so to speak. Then don't you think I'm kidding you about that. If you can get me to your farm, don't think I'm kidding about something like that. A one world food supplier for the New World Order. That's control. This video was sent to me by Kaja, C-A-J-I 2. He comments on my channels. He's been with me a long time. And it's found on the BitChute video website. And the title is Blood Sister, Cleaning South Africa's Farm Attacks, by the channel Lauren Southern, or the posting by Laura Southern. And she posted this video about a year and a half ago, folks, but y'all need to see what's going on in South Africa. In a roundabout way, it's the same thing on a smaller scale that's happened to here, like with Leroy Finicum. He was an outspoken citizen who had friends, and they just snuffed him out like a candle. This stuff is going on too much. Like I've been telling you in my videos recently, especially for the recent years, they are advancing. These killers are gaining momentum. The things that they're doing with these direct energy weapons is becoming more and more frequent. These farmers being killed in central South Africa, the white farmers being killed, it started off, this woman who was interviewed by Lauren went over there and interviewed the woman, and that's a long trip. But anyway, the woman said that when it started, it was one a week. And she said now it's one every day or more. So it's a program that the bad guys are doing to get rid of the decent people who are food growers. They want all of that to be industrialized and commercialized, all food, so they can control what you eat. Now, there's information out, and I believe it, that no matter what kind of toxins and stuff, they're constantly laying on us with the chemtrails in the air and in our foods and all this stuff, the additives and stuff, that our bodies rejuvenate. They regenerate and rejuvenate themselves. I don't argue that at all, because I've noticed chemicals in the air and the frequencies so hard on me in the last 6 years, maybe 7 years. They have intensified so much. I tell you the truth, I feel like lesser men would be dead if they had experienced what I've experienced. But this is Wes Truther channel. Thank y'all for tuning in. And like I said, my videos should be getting hundreds of thousands of views with the things I say and talk about, the things I mention, the things I just bring up for you to put into your thought process, to add to other things that you think about. Because if you think about these things seriously, you'll be able to connect a lot of dots that isn't connected in your head right now. That's the name of the game. Connecting their dots. Their agendas. Agenda 21. It's a must read. Look at PDF file up, folks. Indulge. Endure and read it. It'll change you.